Welcome to Huddle Up, brought to you by the Fields Auto Group. Jaguars senior writer John Oehser, NFL Network Analyst and former Jaguar Bucky Brooks, and senior reporter J.P. Shadrick bring you the latest on your Jacksonville Jaguars. Huddle Up starts right now.
Welcome in. It is Wednesday. It is Week 12. It is Huddle Up with Bucky Brooks and a busy show ahead. Our final look at the Chargers-Jaguars matchup. The Jags with a big win, of course, over L.A. to improve to 6-4. Dominant on all sides. We'll get our first look at the Jaguars Cardinals matchup this Sunday at State Farm Stadium in Glendale, Arizona. And in the AFC playoff picture, the Jaguars are right in the thick of it. Huddle Up with Bucky Brooks is brought to you by Fields Auto Group Jacksonville. See Fields first, Jacksonville's premier luxury auto group. Go to fieldsauto.com. J.P. Shadrick, John Oehser from the Hyundai Studios, the Miller Electric Center. Bucky Brooks, NFL Network Analyst, joins us from Los Angeles, as always. Good afternoon, Bucky. What's up?
What's up, man? How you guys doing?
Look at Buck there right in the middle of the screen.
Doing well,
Just
man.
getting it done.
Yeah, that's what he does.
He does. He gets it done. Big analysis week this week. Big victory.
Big analysis week.
Oh, big analysis week. I went over my word count. Had too many words?
No. I was saying huge win. Played their best game of the season. We got to find out why from Bucky Brooks.
Yeah, Bucky, why?
I think for coaches and for teams, every year there's a point where you reach a crossroads and either you go all in or you fall apart because you don't necessarily stick to your beliefs and those things. And I think for Liam Cohen, it was a really big week last week you talk all year about, hey, we're going to be a tough physical team. We're going to be a run-heavy team and those things. And now you're sitting at that crossroads where you have to decide, is that what you really believe in? Or do you kind of try and create new things that you believe will help your team at that moment? And against the Chargers, a team that was a rough and rugged team, a team that few expected the Jaguars to win, they doubled down. They went all into the identity. They ran the football. They were physical. They were the more physical team. And on both offensive and defensive lines, they controlled the line of scrimmage. And if you're Liam Cohen, it is exactly what you talked about. It's exactly what you wanted to see. And you walk away with even more confidence that not only that your philosophy is intact, but this team embodies the philosophies that you talked about all offseason.
This may be completely off the rails, Bucky, and if it is, I apologize. Well, I don't apologize.
Well, how would you apologize now?
Yeah, right. So, but it also seems like, Bucky, that for the first 8 or 9 games, they played to identity in some of them, and some of them got away from them. I've always thought sometimes a team needs a reset and a refocus, and I think some of this is what you're getting at. Maybe the players too said, you know what, that is the best way we play. Let's go after that. The offensive line brought in. I know Liam wants the offensive line to be the identity of this team. When you're first putting something together, I think people forget this team hasn't been together for 6 or 7 years where they know exactly in a time of crisis what to fall back on. Yeah, this is who we are. And it did feel like in that game, everybody on that team said, you know what, if we're going to be good, we've got to out-physical them on defense. We have to be the more physical team. We have to run. Yeah, let's go all in. And it felt like maybe the players went after it more than they ever have or just bought in or whatever all that is. Not that they weren't before, but that's how it felt.
It was kind of the let it rip for the whole team, not just the quarterback.
Good. The J.P. Shadrick show.
Yeah.
Huddle Up with J.P. Shadrick.
The whole team took it to heart.
I mean, look, I do believe John is dead on. I think sometimes players have a vision for how they think the team should play, and sometimes the coach has to remind them, no. I understand what all you guys want to do, but for us to win, this is what we need to do. Yeah. We need to run the football. We need to be physical. We have to embrace this. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to call the game in such a manner that we stay true to who we are. And sometimes when you're coming in and you have all these thoughts in the offseason in terms of, hey, man, we want to play this way. And then midway through the year, which is right where we're at, you're like, no. We have to play this way for us to win. And I think that was kind of the moment where they're like, no, this is how we have to play. This is how we're going to play. And this needs to be the way that we play the rest of the season in terms of following this approach.
Of course, the Jaguars ran for nearly 200 yards in the game on, 47 attempts total as a team, but they also got some critical passes and key moments from Trevor Lawrence, especially in the second half of this game, and there was a lot better execution overall on offense. None of the pre-snap stuff anymore, only one penalty for 5 yards on the day. Trevor Lawrence today in his press conference, hey, wait a minute, there's the wristband out there with all the plays on it. What goes into it for Trevor Lawrence? Here's what he said.
You can just get calls in faster, really, is all it is. Because you got a number on your wristband, and then you read it off to the guys instead of, calls get pretty long in certain situations, so Liam's got to call it. He's got to get the personnel in, you got to call that, you got to call the play, and then if you miss something and he has to call the play again, then you're saying this whole long sentence again, and then you're saying it in the huddle, and then you're breaking it instead of just, hey, wristband 10, and then you go in there, call it to the guys and get out of there. Then you have usually 5 more seconds or so. I mean, it just depends. Maybe not that much sometimes, but that's really all it does.
That's the quarterback earlier today, Bucky. So the old Tom Maddie wristband back in action.
Who knew, Bucky? Who knew that all you needed was a magic wristband?
Well, so, I mean, here's the thing, because you remember, John, we sat in that meeting, I feel like in the summertime, where Liam talked about the wristband isn't a thing that's hard for the quarterback, but it was hard for him. And he talked about the words having life. Like when you're making the call, you visualize each word and kind of see it play out. So for him, he's always been around quarterbacks, and they've always done it like that. Well, for Trevor, who is a new school quarterback who has played all these 7-on-7 things and played in high school, probably where they operated off the bands and the placards and those things, he's more comfortable doing it that way. And at the end of the day, you have to do what the quarterback is most comfortable, because he's the one that's playing. And so when Trevor gives that explanation, like, hey, he tells me, hey, red 1. I look down, I flip up the card, and I go red right, 22, scat Hank, Z hooky. And everyone understands it. We get out the huddle, we get lined up. Everyone knows exactly what we're doing, because the quarterback has more confidence. He says to play with more confidence. The players play with more confidence because they believe in all the stuff. Look, it may be performative art, whatever it is, but it works for the quarterback, so it works for the rest of the group.
Can you explain to me that play you just called?
Oh, red right? So red would be the formation. Right is where you have the strength of it. 22 is the protection. Scat is part of the protection. Hank is the route. And then you put a little tag on it, like a little Z looky or hooky or whatever you want to call it. Like those are things. That's old West Coast terminology stuff.
Okay. Digging deep. Love that.
I think, just to clarify for people watching this, the wristband, I think my sense is it'll wind up being a positive that Trevor went without it for a while, because the reason he wanted to do it, and he has said all along that he was the one who really wanted to go without the wristband, and maybe it was Liam's suggestion. I don't know the backstory on that, but that it has helped him absorb the offense. Just like, JP, you and I really didn't go to very many classes in college, but I've heard that how you learn can be, absorbing it, and then if you know it, if you have to memorize it rather than, taking an open book class, you know it better later. So I do think it will benefit Trevor to have gone through that without the wristband. And this is not a case, from what he said on Sunday, where the entire offense is sitting on his wrist. It's certain stuff that they want to get out of the huddle quicker. It's more of a time management thing to get the process going quicker than Trevor needing like an open book on the test.
Yeah, you got to hear that call, repeat the call, maybe twice in the huddle. All of a sudden, the play clock's winding down. So.
Well, and so much of what they do is canning.
But I think,
ahead,
if you think about the mistakes that we had, so many of the pre-snap mistakes, like we assume that it's all the receivers and the tight ends not getting lined up right. But what if it comes in differently? Or what if, like, Trevor hears something that is incorrect and he says it wrong, and so now that's some of the confusion. The one thing about the wristband, it makes it very, very clear. This is the play that we're running. This is how we want to run it. And it eliminates maybe some of the user error that could take place in the huddle. And if Trevor is confident in it, and it seems like he's very confident in it, I think you just kind of, as a coach, you have to kind of suck it up and say, hey, we're going to operate off the wristband.
Yeah, Trevor said today part of it was, if you miss a call in the headset coming in from the sidelines, and then you kind of have to go back and say, hey, what was the middle of that? Or, so.
Then you can't go back and talk to him either. He's just got to replay the whole thing.
So as Bucky said, with this, it's more, hey, wristband 4. Mm-hmm. Okay, that's what it is. So it's faster. So it was better pre-snap. So if then. Right?
Eliminates a little bit of that game of telephone out of the year.
Yeah.
Did I really hear what I thought I heard? Well, you heard 2 words now.
And you know how hard it is to get it all the way around the circle in telephone. Like, people mess it up all the time. And let's be clear, we talk about attention deficit and the short attention spans that we all have. Man, those long calls coming in, it's hard to focus and remember all the information that is then expected to be spewed out to the rest of the squad.
Back in a moment. They're not quiet. Are they? Would you real quick? Are they like John Gruden calls? They're not that crazy, are they, Bucky?
Oh, it sounds like they can be a little verbose. Yeah, it sounds like they're very wordy, and that's a lot to remember when you're stacking it.
Most coaches come in and kind of say, "Hey, it's pretty simple. He's like, no, it's complex."
No, there you go. We're back in a moment. Plenty ahead. Let's take a look at the Arizona Cardinals when we return. And if you want customized Jags furniture for your home, check out zipchair.com and browse all customizable options. Zip Chair, furniture for fans. It's Huddle Up with Bucky Brooks.
Hello, I'm Dan Fields. For over 50 years, Fields Auto Group has been America's premier family-owned luxury auto group, selling the most iconic brands in the world. We understand the luxury customer and provide an extraordinary car buying and service experience. It's not just about selling cars. Fields is focused on building lifelong relationships. We invite you to visit Fields and enjoy an honest and memorable luxury car buying experience.
Huddle up, My Gate Rewards members. Football is back. Celebrate with the Duval Meal Deal at Gate. Right now, grab a personal pizza and any 20-ounce Coca-Cola soft drink for just $4.99. No matter what combo you choose, this meal's the perfect play. Happening now through January 5th, 2026. See store for details. A deal that's a victory for every fan. Gates got you.
Kick is up. It's good.
Field goals for Firehouse Subs are back. That means when the Jags score from deep, you do too. Anytime the Jags score a field goal that's 40 yards or more, you can get a free medium sub with the purchase of any other medium sub online or in the app for 4 days following the game. So cheer on the Jags, watch for the big kicks, and get your buy one, get one free medium sub at participating Firehouse Subs throughout Jacksonville when you use the app. The hottest subs in Duval. See firehousesubs.com for offer terms.
Hi, it's Sam Kavaris. You probably already know that Echo East Coast Transportation is the official transportation provider for the Jaguars. I've been a client for more than 30 years because they're from here, and like you, they've been Jaguar fans from the beginning. So for any prearranged transportation needs, call them at 904-631-5466 or find them online at ectjax.com and use the code SAM in the special instructions box for your 15% Jaguars discount. And if you want to talk Jaguars, they can do that too.
A lot of respect for Trey's extremely versatile, similar in a lot of ways to Brock that way. And, look, you've got to have eyes on him and understand where he is in the formation at all times in terms of, okay, is he attached? Is he in the hip? Is he in the slot? Is he at one? Obviously building a plan around, stopping guys like that is mixing up looks, right? Is trying to give different looks and present them and make sure that maybe you have some areas in the red area, whatever it is, to double them or take away their best player. That's some things that we're looking at.
That's the head coach Liam Cohen earlier today discussing Cardinals tight end Trey McBride. Leads the NFL, at least in tight ends, with 71 catches, just over 700 yards and 7 touchdowns so far. And welcome back. It is Huddle Up with Bucky Brooks, JP Shadrick, John Oehser in Jacksonville. Bucky is out in Los Angeles. And donate blood and save lives on the Big Red Bus at the annual Tealgate Blood Drive, November 22nd at Daly's. Blood donors score a free Jags home game ticket. It's at Daly's Place, not the Daily Stores. There's a bunch of those around. For more, visit oneblood.org/Jaguars. Well, the Cardinals' record is what it is. They're, 3-7. They are beat up 4 of their 7 captains are on injured reserve this year. The quarterback has been out. They've gone through a million running backs, it feels like. I mean, it's just kind of what it is this year in Arizona. But let's start with the offense here. And the Arizona Cardinals, their bright spot is Trey McBride, the tight end. With Kyler Murray out, though, Jacoby Brissett has put together some decent numbers. He's never been a big interception guy in his career, really, but 10 touchdowns, 3 picks so far, and he set an NFL record with 47 completions in last week's losing effort. So he leads the NFL with like 314 passing yards a game as the starting quarterback this year over the last 5 weeks. New career high last week. What do you make now of this Arizona offense, and especially led by Jacoby Brissett? What do they have to hang their hat on with all these injuries, too?
Look, man, I think you have to give them a ton of respect. They played in a bunch of competitive games, and the one thing that the Jaguars can't do is to exhale. Normally, human nature would tell you after you have a big win, you want to relax, and you take the next game and the next opponent lightly because you feel like you've got it. This, to me, is an even bigger test than last week was, because this, to me, will tell me if the Jaguars are mature enough to be the team that they want to be in terms of being a playoff contender and eventual title contender. This offense is good because Jacoby Brissett is going to make sure he takes care of the ball. He's going to get it to the weapons, and the primary weapon is going to be Trey McBride working over the middle of the field. And if you think about the issues that we've had a tough time tracking tight ends. And so we have to do a really good job in our zone coverage, understanding where he is, making sure we have bodies around him, and then just making sure that we keep the ball in front and rallying tackle in space.
Yeah, I have nothing to add. But that's bad radio and podcasting, so I'll add something. It absolutely is a key game for the reasons Bucky outlined. I thought the Seattle game was big earlier this year because it was after the Chiefs, and nobody at the time really knew about Seattle, and you thought, okay, those are the ones you got to get that nobody's paying attention to after the ones that everybody's watching. What I didn't know then was Seattle and the Rams, their next 2 games, might have been their best 2 opponents of the season. So this one is very similar to that. I feel like they found something last week in their identity that if they're a good team, meaning the Jaguars, you can ride the momentum a little bit after that. Go play that way. Go get a couple more wins. Get to 8-4, whatever it would take you. Now, I don't know, look ahead and all that. But if you're going to be an 11, 12-win team, 12 might be out of reach, but you know what I'm saying, a double-digit team, these are the ones you got to get. You can't just get the big ones. You have to tick off a couple of the ones that on paper you ought to get. So, yeah, if you're not going to be an up-and-down team, you can't go up and down. You got to be consistent. I
like that.
That's
when you work with words are your words.
Well, this is the kind of insight you pay for. Bucky's would have been better. It's why his name's on the show. But I'll let Bucky make that better.
I mean, if you want to be good, you got to be good, right? Like that's kind of basically what John is saying. But I mean, this is a game where if you are a good team and you're taking on a team that, let's just say, everyone says you're supposed to be, then I want to see if we can take care of business right from the jump. This shouldn't be one where I'm biting my nails at the end, hoping that we hold on to win it. Mature teams come out and they take care of business. I want to see how far we've come in our developmental process when it comes to that. The Las Vegas game, which should have been very much like that. I mean, we won on a wing and a prayer at the end where we had a knockdown pass. There have been other games where we've had opportunities to just knock people out, and we have done it. Cincinnati comes to mind. They're playing with a backup quarterback. We didn't give them our full attention or our best effort, and we lost. So to me, I'm not one that is fearful, but this is a scary game because it's a bit of a trap game, just given the circumstances that are there. They're playing with a bunch of backups, a bunch of unheralded guys that no one has heard of. So we got to let's make sure that no one knows who they are after this week. Don't give them a reason to have any life.
The Cardinals have given up 85 points over the last 2 weeks. The most the Cardinals have given up over a 2-game span since about 2008, and the only team this year to do that in consecutive games. So we take a look at the Cardinals' defense so far, and they're about what you would expect as well. Bottom third or so in total defense, middle of the pack in rushing. There's a lot of names on that list that pop out, but the one that really pops out is Calais Campbell, of course. Jaguar fans know him for his 3 seasons here, and he's still at it. Year 18 in the NFL, 5 sacks this year, and then Josh Sweat on the outside has 9 sacks this season. What else do they have to offer on defense, especially with some leaders off to the side?
Yeah, look, man, this is a hard-playing defense, and one of the things that Jonathan Gannon has done is he's got this group to play hard. And, you know, they may not be the most talented unit given the injuries and those things, but, man, they have a bunch of prideful veterans that are there. When you think about Buda Baker and Jalen Thompson in the secondary, those guys are always around the ball. Mac Wilson is very active at the second level, and then they just have a way of trying to create pressure. If you don't pay attention, Josh Sweat can give you problems. This is not a game where the Jags can just roll out the balls and think that they have it. They need to bring their best game. I want to see if they can take what they learned from that last performance in terms of the preparation and the process and build on it going on the West Coast and taking on a scrappy Cardinals squad.
And does the physicality travel, I guess, too?
Yeah, I mean,
right.
Question for the defensive coordinator.
Right.
I've come to the belief with the Jaguars, Bucky, that as long as they stay out of bad down and distance, meaning play clean, and as long as they're not playing a Seattle, Rams, Houston level front, fronts that can really just,
take over, right?
The best.
Yeah.
That these guys are going to be able to run. I think they can. Most of the time this year, they've been able to get running enough to get into what Liam likes to call. So the question is, where do the Cardinals rank in terms of defensive front? Is this a defensive front that the Jaguars should be able to handle? Because there's been a couple you can't, and that's understandable because you can't always handle the best defensive front in this league.
Yeah, no, they got some interesting young players, and I think we have to keep an eye on people in the SEC who know Walter Nolan from Ole Miss, a guy who is very athletic, very talented. He's someone that can be disruptive. We saw a guy early in the year, Byron Murphy, give us issues for the Seattle Seahawks because there's athleticism and power and those things. And I'm going to say this, they have a lot of guys that haven't quite popped as stars yet, but they have nice traits. And for our offensive line, I feel like for us more than other teams, it's really important that all 5 are playing on a string, really locked in and in sync. And when they're playing together and they're connected, they do really well. And so if we stay connected, we're on it because the preparation has been good throughout the course of the week and they understand what they're up against, we'll play well. But this is not one where we can kind of cruise through and think that we got this just because it's the Cardinals. We got to we need to bring our best effort.
This is not specific to Cardinals defense. I'm going a little off track of the show, but it seemed in the second half, Bucky, like the offense, the numbers weren't there, but there were some moments with Trevor, with Jacoby, that it seems like he's starting to like the group around him and feel a little comfortable with him. And I get that you need Brenton Strange back, BTJ, but did you feel any comfort? Did you feel any progress from Trevor in the second half last week?
I did, and I think people have to understand, like, if they go back and watch the game, this game was tight. It was a tight game. At halftime, it wasn't like a blowout where they dominated from the jump. They played really well, and I would give Liam a lot of credit because his persistence with the running game eventually allowed the passing game to unlock, because it wasn't really until the second half that the running game really began to take over. And Trevor, to his credit, made a couple of big throws in the second half, and Myers working over the middle of the field and being able to throw those darts. We saw like a little glance route, like a little bang eight skinny post that he hit on the inside. We saw some other things that were breaking in traffic that were right on the money. And you hope that he can build off of that, because let's be honest, the first half started out a little shaky. You know what I'm saying? You had the interception, you had some misfires and those things. What the running game did, it allowed him to ease into the game without the pressure of having to be the star quarterback from the jump. May not be afforded that opportunity. So Trevor and the wide receivers, they have to continue to get better when it comes to developing that chemistry. But, yeah, you like what you saw from this offense in the second half, regardless of what the numbers said at the end. Yeah,
I thought the throw, Bucky, that you referred to wrapped around a couple of others right around that time when they were up 15. It made me really want to watch in the next couple of games his relationship with Jakobi Meyers and how that's going to make him better. There seemed like a couple of trust throws that I think, considering Jakobi, his reputation for being on the spot, for trust, Trevor needs guys he can trust. I mean,
and I'm going to say this.
Season, it was hard to trust some of these guys.
It'll be interesting because we've had this conversation before. We had it last week, I think, when we talked about 2022 and Marvin Jones and Zay Jones and Christian Kirk.
Sure.
And how they may not have been like household names or headliners, but they were so good for Trevor because they were reliable, dependable. They were at the right spot. They did things exactly how it was drawn up, and it made it very comfortable for him. And I'm going to say this because I know Jakobi Meyers, and I feel like Parker Washington has started to really earn that trust. But look, man, little Trammell coming in there early in the game, making a big play. And I know, like you talk about a guy that kind of floats up and down and that stuff, and BTJ is coming. But I just believe at some point you're going to put the most trusted guys on the field. And there is certainly a spot for Brian Thomas Jr. to be a major contributor. But I'm going to say this, like, that trust is going to have to be earned when they throw it to him and when they call his number. He's going to have to be in the right spot, and he's going to have to make the play when they call upon him to make the play. If not, we're at the point where you have to play the best players, and the best players are not quite the most talented players, but the ones that are going to give you exactly what you see in practice. It's going to carry over to what they do in the games.
And he already does trust Brenton Strange. So now all of a sudden you've got
he's back.
Potentially 3 guys that he really trusts. That's when it could get interesting.
I trust you, John.
Well, I appreciate that.
I trust Bucky, too.
Yeah.
Both of you guys.
Small glass.
Back in a moment. We'll take a look at the defensive coverage of the game ahead of this Jaguars Cardinals matchup in Week 12. This is Huddle Up with Bucky Brooks.
Hello, I'm Dan Fields. Finally, inventories and prices are customer friendly.
That's because summer's here, so let's keep it real at the Field Summer Sales Event.
We have vehicles on the ground and ready to go. All new makes and models to choose from, even electric cars and SUVs. Stop searching for your next luxury vehicle and see Fields first.
And get an incredible offer like this.
Right now, save up to $10,000 on remaining new 2024 Porsche models in stock at Porsche Jacksonville. Go to PorscheJacksonville.com.
It's game time, Jaguars fans. This season, feed your fandom with the Jaguars sub from Publix, the official supermarket of your Jacksonville Jaguars. Wow! Sink your teeth into crispy chicken tenders, boar's head bacon, melted cheddar, sweet coleslaw, and smoky barbecue mayo, all stacked on a fresh white roll. Taste the hype only at Jacksonville Publix locations. Publix, where shopping is a pleasure.
Watch the game, host your crew, or just unwind at BC Grill and Patio at Sheridan Jacksonville, part of the Marriott family of hotels. Enjoy craft cocktails, tasty bites, and indoor-outdoor seating perfect for watch parties, happy hours, and events. Mention this radio ad for 10% off food and drinks. Visit SheridanJacksonville.com or call 904-564-4772.
Chelsea here, ready to upgrade your windows or patio doors? During Renewal by Anderson's Black Friday sales event, buy now and pay nothing until 2027. That's 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for 2 full years. Our acclaimed impact windows are built for Florida homes, designed to help you save on energy bills while keeping your home comfortable all year round. Restrictions apply. Visit bestwindowsflorida.com to schedule your free in-home design consultation. License number CGC 1527613. Renewal by Anderson, where comfort meets savings.
Individual success is extremely important to us. It is. Like, you want every player to get what they truly, at the end of the day, deserve and earn. And you want guys to get paid as much as you can. I mean, you want that for them. And but so often it has to just come back to the team first. And ultimately, well, everything we're trying to do is do that. Put the team first and protect the team and give ourselves the best chance to go win on Sunday.
Head coach Liam Cohen earlier today, full press conference at Jaguars.com and Jaguars YouTube ahead of this Chargers. That was last week. The Jaguars are playing the Cardinals.
You want to play it again?
It was so
a good game.
I want to play it. I'm looking in the mirror too much. The windshield's bigger than the rear
JP's looking
view.
back.
Can't do that.
Oh my gosh,
We're looking forward.
Turn the page.
What's worse, looking too far ahead or looking back?
Oh, man.
All right.
Guilty as charged.
I'll take over. Welcome into.
That's great, Johnny. So next week, this coming week, the Jaguars and the Cardinals coming up. And then a few weeks away, Sunday, December 7th, the Jaguars, speaking of looking ahead, we're going to look way ahead. The Jaguars return to the bank for a massive division showdown against the Colts. It is more than just a game. It's a statement. The Jags are back home. They're going to turn up the heat in the iconic Prowler throwbacks again. Kickoff 1 o'clock. For now, see if they flex it. Pack the bank and make it loud. Jaguars.com/tickets or call 904-633-2000. That's December 7th.
You got to play your way into that being huge. Because it could be huge.
It could be. It could be massive, in fact. Let's take a look at the defensive coverage of the game presented by GEHA, Government Employees Health Association, benefits for federal employees and retirees. And we take another look at what the Jags did last week defensively. Not a huge tackle numbers because they weren't on the field too often. I mean, the Jags defense did a great job staying off the field, getting the quarterback, and then on the back end, they had 4 guys they had asked to contribute and fix the secondary this offseason that they added that were not available in the game. 2 are done for the season, and the veteran guys, Lewis and Eric Murray, unavailable. Then they lost Newsome during the game as well, so you had a lot of action from a guy like Christian Braswell stepping in to play, and that kind of tells you about the depth chart and what they believe in some of these young guys. And a lot of these young guys, especially on the offensive side, and even the defensive ends who aren't listed here, the young defensive ends had impact plays, earning an opportunity, and then when it comes, expanding on that opportunity and playing well.
Yeah, Christian Braswell played really, really well. We talked about Strigo and Green because Green had a sack that, come on. But Strigo had a half a sack, so you talk about those guys a lot. Christian Braswell came in and played really well. And so you do wonder, I think Jordan Lewis has a shot at being back this week. If not, you sort of wonder if they'll up Braswell's time a little bit. But
yeah, no, I think what's interesting about the young guys that stepped in, because there's a few guys like Braswell and some others that popped in and played prominent roles. They had to simplify the defensive game plan because they had so much uncertainty about who was going to play. And I wonder, do they stay with a simplified game plan to do it? Because the one thing that showed up last week defensively, they were back to playing fast. They were physical. We didn't see the coverage bust and those things, so you didn't see the big plays. There may be something to it. And while the young guys certainly deserve credit for stepping up, I think the coaches did a really good job of scaling things back and making it easy for the players. Let's see if they can do it and allow those young guys to continue to get better, because they're asking them to do the same things over and over again and not necessarily building upon the game plan. They're just getting more repetitions at a familiar game plan.
Yeah, I thought part of the key, too, on Sunday was we've talked, Bucky, a lot this year about as long as the defense could keep stopping the run, you figured that there would be a lot of games where they gave themselves a chance, because if you stop the run, you can have a chance to get the quarterback. That's been consistent for them all year. I can't really remember a game where you have felt, man, they just could not get off the field when the other team wanted to run. So I think as long as they keep doing that, you're going to be able to be in most games with a chance. So I still think that bodes well for them coming down in the last 5 or 6 games, the consistency they have shown there. And maybe they get something out of Strigo and Green to the tune of a little meaningful pressure, which I don't know that I expected that to happen in week 1. Because it can be hard for rookie free agents, as talented as they are. It can be tough for them to matter. And all of a sudden, they're starting to matter a little bit, which might give them a tick up in the pass rush in key situations.
Good to see you on the defensive side for the Jaguars. We'll see what they can do this week against the Arizona Cardinals. Jacoby Brissett. There's a lot of backup players in the O-line and the running back room, but they've still got the tight end. We're back in a moment, and we'll take a look at the AFC playoff picture. The Jaguars are on the graphic. They're very high up on the graphic compared to years past. We'll dig into it and look at the remaining schedule to come. It is Huddle Up with Bucky Brooks.
Hello, I'm Dan Fields. Finally, inventories and prices are customer friendly.
That's because summer's here, so let's keep it real at the Field Summer Sales Event.
New inventory is arriving daily. All new makes and models to choose from, even electric cars and SUVs.
Visit Fields today and find the fit for you.
And get an incredible offer like this.
For a limited time, get $3,000 off all Lexus TX350s in stock at Lexus of Jacksonville and Lexus of Orange Park.
What's the best part about lawn care during the winter? You can give it a rest. Lawns only need watering up to once a week. Really, that's it. Using less water means you're saving time and money that you can put towards something else. Before you run your sprinklers, remember, give it a rest and only water up to once a week. For more information, visit waterlessflorida.com.
It's game time, Jaguars fans. This season, feed your fandom with the Jaguars sub from Publix, the official supermarket of your Jacksonville Jaguars. Sink your teeth into crispy chicken tenders, boar's head bacon, melted cheddar, sweet coleslaw, and smoky barbecue mayo, all stacked on a fresh white roll. Taste the hype only at Jacksonville Publix locations. Publix, where shopping is a pleasure.
Huddle up, My Gate Rewards members. Football is back. Celebrate with the Duval Meal Deal at Gate. Right now, grab a personal pizza and any 20-ounce Coca-Cola soft drink for just $4.99. No matter what combo you choose, this meal's the perfect play. Happening now through January 5th, 2026. See store for details. A deal that's a victory for every fan. Gates got you.
Honest and upfront. I think he's just kind of gets right to it, whatever he's feeling or wants to say, and not in a bad way. He just is very honest upfront, communicates. You can tell that communicating is really important to him, and he doesn't want there to be any mixed messages. So I think that's the biggest thing. And then, like I've talked about too, how passionate he is, the way he approaches the game. I mean, you can see how much he cares about it, how much he puts into it, and it means something to him. So I think that makes guys, want to play for him. And then, like we talked about, it's relatable. I think just the way he talks to players. I mean, he's always talking to guys. He's not just off by himself, kind of, standing in the corner watching practice. Like, he's involved all the time. And I think that's something that guys appreciate is him keeping the conversation going consistently.
Welcome back. It is Huddle Up with Bucky Brooks. That was quarterback Trevor Lawrence and the relatability of the head coach to his team so far, Liam Cohen. And Huddle Up with Bucky Brooks is brought to you by Fields Auto Group Jacksonville. See Fields first. Jacksonville's premier luxury auto group. Go to fieldsauto.com. Yes, the Jaguars are in the AFC playoff picture. Currently the number 7 seed in the AFC playoffs. If it ended today, it will not end today. Division leaders, Denver, New England, Indy, and Pittsburgh, 1 through 4 seeds. The wild card teams at the moment, the Bills, Chargers, and Jaguars. We'll see if the Bills can overtake the Patriots at some point in the AFC East and see what the Jaguars can do down the stretch to try to walk down the Colts. In the hunt teams, yes, the Texans are still in it, unfortunately, because of the Jaguars' loss in the fourth quarter a couple weeks ago. The Chiefs... they might be finding a right time to get right. Don't ever count them out until they're out. They might not win the division this year, but they could get in. Ravens are coming on strong. They've got pretty much full health. And, the Miami Dolphins are on the graphic. I don't know how long that'll last, Bucky.
The Dolphins, their schedule shapes up. They could easily get back in it. If they're playing as well as... like the last 2 games would indicate, which is okay, but their schedule allows them to get back in it if they're playing above average.
Is Denver real, Bucky?
Yeah, we're going to find out in a month or so how real they are. They're real because their defense is rock solid, man. They can get after the passer, lead the league in sacks. They do it in a very creative fashion. Last year, they used to blitz you to death. Now they're doing a lot of simulated pressures where they're bringing 4, but it's coming from the second level, and then they're playing coverage behind it. And they're doing it without the reigning Defensive Player of the Year, Pat Surtain, on the perimeter. It's a really, really good team. Offensively, they can sputter a little bit, but they do just enough. Bo Nix, 5 game-winning drives, 4th quarter comebacks. So got to take them as a viable threat.
Yeah, this week's interesting for the Jags. The Texans play the
Bills.
The Bills.
Yep.
And the Chiefs play the Colts.
Yes.
Both of those games, you could say, okay, you want the Bills to knock out the Texans. And oh boy, you want the Chiefs to beat the Colts. Okay, you do, but it also is not going to necessarily hurt the Jags might also want the Chiefs out, and they also might want the
I think the rest of the league wants the Chiefs out too. By the way,
well, because the Jags are a game up on the Chiefs.
Yeah.
But they got a
tiebreaker. They had a tiebreaker, right?
Right. So if you put the Chiefs one more game back, now you're 2.5 up on them. So if you're rooting for the Chiefs to beat the Colts, you better go beat the Colts in a couple of weeks, right? Or So I guess my point is, right now you're at the stage where just go win your games, and the other stuff you can start worrying about other scenarios in the last 3 weeks. It's probably too early to confidently root for or against other AFC teams. That's my thought.
No, it's not. Yeah, it's not too early. I mean, I'm gonna sit here and look.
Okay, who do you want then? Do you want the Colts or the Chiefs to win?
Oh, I want the Chiefs to win because I'm a hat and T-shirt guy. I want to get a hat and T-shirt. Okay. I want an AFC. I want a championship T-shirt. I want a division championship thing, and we can't get that. You don't get anything for the wild card. 2 years ago, 3 years ago, whenever we went to the wild card, there was nothing. I don't remember getting a T-shirt or nothing. I want a hat and a T-shirt.
You didn't
I want to be on the
T-shirt?
field when they're passing them out.
Me and JP got
I want to put on a little hattie. That's a part of it. So if the Colts lose, it then prevents the Jags from having to sweep them to win the division. So I would rather that.
I got you.
I'm thinking about the cushion so much. We have the tiebreaker over the Chiefs, and then let's be honest. I'll never root harder for the Buffalo Bills than the way that I'm a root on Thursday night. We need them to dispatch the Texans. We need them to kind of put a stake in them.
Yeah, but then if the Texans win and the Jags win, then you're ahead of the Bills.
I'm not really worried about
that. Not worried about the Bills?
Not
worried about Josh Allen?
Directly.
I'm worried about Josh Allen.
No, the Bills are going to be
because I feel that they're going to be in regardless.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can put voodoo dolls and all that around. They're going to be in. I'm more worried about them doing some of our work that we should have done a few weeks ago.
I got you. I agree with you guys. It's just when you're in it with 7 games to go, just go win your games.
I mean, yeah.
Guess what?
The thing.
If the Jaguars go 7-0, you don't have to worry about any of this.
It's true.
The main thing is just to get to 10.
Okay.
4 more games.
See, I would rather get to 13, but Bucky's satisfied with 10. So that's how we are around here.
That's right. By the way, we mentioned that Colts game in a few weeks, December 7th. There's a possibility that could get flexed. I think the rules are 12 days out for Sunday night football flexing. That Sunday night game right now is Texans at Chiefs. And then the 4:25 games are the Rams at the Cardinals and the Bengals at the Bills. So those are possibilities of maybe shuffling around if the Colts Jaguars is for the division lead or whatever. The Monday night game is probably not getting flexed out. The Eagles at the Chargers. So good luck with that one.
So Jags win this one, get to 7-4. Colts, if the Colts were 9 I can see that.
That's possible.
Maybe getting flexed,
Maybe.
although
it's still the Chiefs and it's still the Bills.
And mid-season, the league flexing Indy and Jacksonville to Sunday night. I wonder if they're ready.
How much fun would that be?
It'd be fantastic, and they probably should if that's the scenario. Would they? I wonder.
We'll see.
I hope so.
But the only way
I don't hope so because I hate night games.
You love night games. Don't lie.
For the fans, I'll let him have this one.
Yeah, that's nice. That's nice of you, John. All right, so the Jaguars and the Cardinals, it's a Mountain Time Zone game, so 2 hours behind the East Coast. The Jaguars have not beaten the Cardinals in a long, long time. 2005, I believe, the last time. Yeah, that's the last time it's happened. The Cardinals have won 4 straight. Jack Del Rio is the coach. Byron Leftwich, the quarterback for the Jags. Dennis Green was the head coach of Arizona. Kurt Warner, the quarterback for the Cardinals then.
When was the last time we played them? I can't
21.
remember.
Yeah, a few years ago, yeah.
Early Urban. Mm-hmm. I know you've shut that out.
Remember he called them the Phoenix Cardinals all week?
Yeah.
You don't remember that, Bucky?
I called it. There's no way I called them the Phoenix.
No,
Urban did.
Urban did.
Oh, Urban did. I was like, there's no way I called them
the
Phoenix
Coach Meyer.
Cardinals. I was like, holy smokes, that is egregious.
Coach Meyer there, Bucky.
If Urban called me, that speaks to.
It's kind of what it is.
Preparation.
Bucky, have a great end on that note. Have a great week.
Oh, we're going to have a great week. It's going to be an even better week than it was last week.
Okay.
Love that.
Just win, baby.
Just win. Bucky Brooks out of here. John Oehser. I'm JP Shadrick. Beautiful sunset here in Jacksonville as the Jaguars begin preparations to head west to face the Cardinals. Thanks to our entire crew, and thanks to you for watching Huddle Up with Bucky Brooks.